do not have a thing on your website that says, get my newsletter. Nobody wants another email. Nobody wants another email in their inbox.
Hey, it's Nick Armstrong, and you are watching the Founded in FoCo Podcast. Every episode, we get a chance to connect with an interesting and innovative entrepreneur in our community, and today we are here with Chaz. Chaz, introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chas, and thank you so much, Nick, for having me today. I have a website called Chas's Crazy Creations. It's a DIY website, and I also have a website called Site Consulting Services. But I think the journey of my getting here is kind of an interesting story as well.
Tell us about how you got into business for yourself.
I actually have a degree in dance. And so for 25 years, I ran a dance program. I've always been creative by nature, and somewhere along the line, I had gone and just kind of created, crafts with my kids and things like that when they were younger. And then that just kind of like, as they got older, they weren't into that anymore. And so, what can I do for myself? And I started getting into kind of repurposing and upcycling. I always have been clean, organic and natural cleaner. And I love to organize things and all of that. And so I just started doing some things for myself. And along the way, I found a website and they were called Home Talk, and it was kind of an accidental find. And one of the things that I did was, I learned from this website because just anyone can contribute to it. It's just anything home and garden, and anyone can contribute to it. So I started, kind of learning some things from it and was inspired. And so then I started giving and contributing to it. And then one of the things that happened is the CMO reached out to me and said, hey, we'd like to fly you to New York, which was crazy. And so I got flown to New York, and that's when Facebook Lives were a brand new thing. And so I'm sitting there and I'm meeting people and just, floored to be here. And all of a sudden they're like, and we're doing a Facebook Live and you're going to be doing something with it. What? Are you kidding me? So did this Facebook
Could you be a little
Live.
bit more specific, please?
Yeah. Yeah, it was
I love
crazy.
those new technologies. They just pop up and the CMOs are like, yeah, let's do the thing. And then we don't know how it's going to work.
No, exactly. And then it was too like, you're going to make a wreath and we're going to give you a mystery item to work with. And I was like, I don't know that I've ever made a wreath before, but okay, let's go. Right. So yeah, through that journey that I came home from that trip, just, very excited. And one of the things that happened is then after that, they said, hey, we actually really enjoyed that. We would like to give you a weekly episode on our channel and have you create projects for our audience. And so I did that for about a year. And so through this whole process, it was kind of just like a little side fun that I was doing outside of dance, directing this dance program out in kids in town. And so then I thought, all right, maybe I actually need to do something with this, right? So that spawned my DIY website, Chas's Crazy Creations, and my YouTube channel and my social media and all of that. And then through all of that, then what kind of happened next was in 2019, I was in a dance performance and I tore my labrum in my hip. So I ended up needing surgery. And then a month after I had that hip surgery to get that replaced, I ended up being diagnosed with breast cancer. And then I ended up having to get the other hip done as well. So in 1 year, these three crazy things happened. And I felt like the universe was probably trying to tell me, hey, you can still dance, of course, but maybe we can't be doing it at the level we were doing it at. So just that pivot of moving from being a dancer to now what am I going to do with my life, right? And so I'd already started the website, so I was very grateful to have that to lean on, kind of jumped in with both feet on the whole DIY world. And website running and YouTube videos and all of that. And then through that, I had met other bloggers and content creators out there and influencers. And you build these little masterminds with people to kind of learn and grow from that. And then one of the things that I learned through that is, maybe they would be stuck on something like, how do I make a Pinterest pin, or how do I do this, or how do I do that? And so I would start helping. I love to teach. I've always loved to teach. So then through that, I was working with all of these bloggers, and then I had a bunch of my peers say, you are you're a teacher, so you should be a coach. And so from that whole experience, then built my site consulting services platform where I, coach bloggers, I help website owners, I audit their sites now. I mean, it just like, if you would ask me when I was, 18 years old, do you think you're going to be on YouTube, or do you think you're going to be coaching other business owners about how to build their websites and make them function appropriately, or how to build their email marketing? I would have said you were crazy, but that's kind of like the crazy journey that got me here. So yeah, I always joke that I was training for COVID the year before COVID actually hit. Because when COVID hit and everybody had to stay home, I had been stuck at home for a whole year, and I just got released to like start walking on my second hip. And they're like, well, now you have to stay home.
Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Wow. What an incredible journey. When they brought you in for that first video shoot, so having done Facebook Lives before, or live streaming events, not only is it like when it's a brand new technology, like did they have any sort of like process already created for you? Did they have any sort of behind the scenes support or anything else like that? Because nowadays it's like you have a producer, you have somebody who's helping you like film, and maybe a second set of hands, somebody who's watching the chat, somebody who's helping with lighting and things like that. Did they have any of that set up? And oh, by the way, you also have to make a wreath as you're doing all of these things too. Was that what it was? You just really were tossed in the deep end, or did they have some sort of structure to help you?
Yeah, you were really tossed into the deep end. So, I mean, all they kind of gave you is they wanted you to have creative liberty. Like maybe they gave you a theme and you kind of worked on what you were going to be talking about or creating during their episode. And then you needed to have somebody else there. They wanted it all done through your phone, because it was live. So it wasn't like you could pre-record it with a better quality thing or anything.
Yeah.
And they would talk to you through some of the little parameters of, make sure you've got high speed internet or whatever. But yeah, so my daughter, who was back then, she was 16 at the time, she was my filmer. She would stand there with her hands, and just film me. And I told her, okay, you got to get in close so people can see what you're making. They don't want to see all of this. They want to see the project, right? So, she would get in close. And so, yeah, I mean, as I think we all learned together, right? Because sometimes they would call after the episode and say, oh, okay, this backlight might have been not the greatest, or, you talk through maybe your location or what you want to do the next time around. But no, you were literally just thrown into it and be like, and go.
Incredible. What process do you have now for your own? Are you still keeping up with the content, with the video in particular? And do you have your own process in play?
I do. And I'm still kind of just a one-man show for the most part. I film with my phone, and it's evolved now that I don't rely on somebody else to film for me. So I have my, my tripods and my phone and the settings and maybe multiple cameras. And so for me, it's filming a lot of short clips, the process of filming a lot. So you can move the camera around and get what they need to see so they could replicate what you're doing. And then afterwards, then I throw it into an editor and make it for YouTube, and then create the blog post tutorial to go with it, and then crop it all and throw it on your social media. So yeah, it's a crazy bumpy road. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I really could use that video editor about now, or, I could really use the second camera or the second set of hands or all of the things.
What does the day-to-day look like for you in terms of your business? How do you, prioritize content creation for yourself versus like work for other clients, external clients?
Everybody does things a little differently. And I'm kind of a big batcher in terms of like Monday becomes my video day. So I'm going to shoot most of my filming on Monday. And then the next I'm going to, hit my editing after that. Tuesday's my coaching day. I'm usually online all day coaching everybody. Wednesdays, I create all the posts and get everything loaded to YouTube and schedule out the social media. Thursday, I'm shopping for next week's supplies or, things like that. And then, of course, you're pitching brands in there, or they're pitching you, and you're trying to fit that into the mix too. So instead of your content, you might be creating theirs instead of yours during a week. But yeah, I just kind of created a schedule, because if I felt like if I didn't have a schedule, I was just floating everywhere.
Let's talk about your session at Founded in FoCo. What are you presenting on, and who are you hoping shows up in the room?
Sure. So I'm going to be teaching about email marketing. And I am kind of a geek about email marketing. I think it's very underutilized. I really think that a lot of people, they know they need email marketing. They know they need it because that's people sign up, and that's how you have an email list, and that's how you reach out to new clients or potential clients or all of that. And the big piece to that is it's the only list you own. You don't own your followers on any other platform. I don't care if it's Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. You have no access to any of those emails out there, right? We really need to have a way to access our own people so that they can either, buy, you have a sale, they can come buy what you have, or maybe you're teaching them something and they want them to show up for a class, So it's the only thing we really need that, because those are the only way to own those people. But then the other thing that I think a lot of people today, our email, like when you open your email in the morning, I mean, how many emails do you have in your inbox every day, right? So many. So how do you stand out, and how do you get people to sign up for your email, and how do you make it different for everyone else? And I always tell everybody, do not have a thing on your website that says, get my newsletter. Nobody wants another email. Nobody wants another email in their inbox. Or, I'm getting like 500 emails a day from Home Depot or something like that, right? So we're going to talk about kind of strategies to get them to sign up, and then to get them to click through from that email, because there's your open rate and your click-through rate. We're going to talk about those. We're going to talk about how to get them to sign up, what kind of content to deliver to create trust and value and get them to stay on your list. Because the other thing too is sometimes you're like, oh, I'll give them a freebie. Okay, well, great. Now they just grabbed that freebie and they ran, so yeah, they just unsubscribed within 2 seconds. Yep, exactly. I got my PDF. I'm out the door now. So so I'm going to help teach a bunch of strategies on what kind of, what should your sign up form say? Where should it be? What kind of content should you be delivering? What kind of value should you be delivering? And then we're going to talk about how to A/B test all of that, so you can get to know your followers as well, and get to know what is going to work best for you to have the most success and get more people to sign up for you and have that list grow.
Do you find that your expertise in video sort of lent itself to your like the content creation focus on put the audience first, make sure that they're paying attention, make sure that they're opening this thing, that they find it valuable, that they want it in their inbox? It's not just, one of 300 from Home Depot or whoever it is. Do you find that the content stylings and the creation of that content to really create that hook is important and similar across all the mediums?
Yeah, I think so. I think that is a big piece of it. It's about them. Everything that you're doing is about them, right? So when you are making a video, how are they going to consume it? How do you keep them on? You're always thinking about the client or the viewer or the follower, and what do they value? And the same thing is going to be true, whatever video content I create or tutorials I create, if I watch it back and I'm bored with it, they're really going to be bored with it. So I need to create something that I can actually watch back myself and enjoy. Or I can say, hey, to one of my kids who, that next generation of all the ones who watch TikTok and everything, I'm like, okay, well, can you watch this? Is this boring to you? Because then I need to go fix it. Or what do I need to do? And then with that too, with your email, it's like you said, it's not about what it's not about what I want to say. It's about what they're going to take away from it, right? So what is the problem I can solve from them? Or what am I trying to help them know? If I'm trying to paint a house, let's say, well, if I just said, I paint houses, that's not really very valuable. But if I can say, hey, what are 5 things every homeowner needs to know when looking for a great painter? What are, and then when the next one is like, did you ask these questions when you're in, looking to get your house painted? What are 5 questions you should ask? So now you're helping them get the answers to what they're probably going to Google search for, or they're looking and they're getting value from that. And you're sharing it out loud with them, which then helps build that trust. And now they want to hire you.
Yeah, a local entrepreneur likes to share the story about how, speaking of house painters, they accidentally painted a baby one time because they opened the door and they were ready to go, and the kiddo was just standing right there as they were spray painting the thing. And so it absolutely, you deliver that hook, give that content there, and they can't just say, oh, we paint houses really well, because it doesn't make a difference. Telling the story of how they accidentally painted a baby and walking them through that process, that's what makes them memorable and to makes them stick. So
Yeah, that's a good point.
what I don't think we got to who are you hoping is in the room? Any type of business, big businesses, small businesses, or solopreneurs, who benefits specifically from improving their emails, and who will walk away with the most information?
Oh, that's a really challenging one, because I really actually feel like everyone can get something from this. If you're a solopreneur, you're a one-man show. So we're going to talk about email workflows, that your email becomes automated to make your life a little easier. So that's going to help the solopreneur and the small businesses. And then for the bigger businesses too, how do you get them to sign up? So everybody needs an email list. I think everyone could benefit from this, and we can brainstorm, after we're done with the session, if somebody's stuck and said, I just don't know how to get them to sign up, or how do I get them to be on my list? I'm happy to brainstorm with anybody. What are 5 things? Like, let's go look at your Google Analytics. Let's go look at your Google Search Console and see what why people are coming to you. Let's go look at your social media and see what's drawing the most attention to you. So I really feel like everybody, I don't think there's anyone out there who doesn't want to have somebody to be able to actually get a hold of at some point, to say, hey, I've got something for you. You should come and, get to know who I am and build that trust with them. So I think it really, just about anybody could come to this and get something out of it.
Where can we find out more about you and your business?
Oh, sure. So I've got, if you're looking for the DIY end of me, you can go to chascrazycreations.com or Chas Crazy Creations on YouTube. And I have all of the same name on social media, depending upon what your vice is, right? And then for the coaching and the email marketing and all of that kind of information, that's over at siteconsultingservices.com.
Excellent. Well, Chas, thank you so much for joining us today. And for more great interviews with fellow entrepreneurs who are doing cool, amazing, and brilliant things and have great origin stories to back them up, visit Founded in FoCo. Keep listening to the podcast, or come see us live in person March 4th through 8th at the Fort Collins Senior Center. We can't wait to see you there. Hey, thanks for listening. I'm Nick Armstrong, and this is a Founded in FoCo podcast. For more great interviews like this one, join us at foundedinfoco.com.